now you've learned the guitar, right? You knew the piano. Now what is that first situation where you're brought to that position and you say, okay, this individual is somebody that I should probably charge them for this thing that I'm doing for them. Like, what was
Right.
that first situation, that first moment? Tell us about that.
Yeah, the first situation is funny because I'm doing some of the same stuff now, but the first situation was a church. I started. I approached the I think it was the music. It was either the musical director or the choir director of the church where I was in college in Tallahassee, Florida. And at the time, I I was still reluctant. I was as far as me being in front of people and playing the guitar, I was just like, I really felt that God put it on my heart, but I feel like God was like was sort of priming me
Uh-huh.
and preparing me. I feel like the Spirit of God was like, listen, you're you can get better in your room if you want to, but I'm gonna need you to be in front of some people.
Mm,
Like
mm,
I felt strongly like that he was telling me to get in front of this church and play,
mm,
And at that point, I was volunteering. But they were like, yeah, yeah, come on, like yeah, come play. And I was like, I'm not all that great, and they was like, yeah, just come anyway. So I was like, okay, and so yeah, I came. I had this little tiny guitar amp. And here I am, this 21-year-old, you know what I'm saying, new at this instrument. I was probably about
mm,
a year in, and and could barely play a couple of chords, to be honest with you. I mean,
mm,
I could play a few, but I was known as the guitar player of that church.
mm.
And then
Wow.
eventually, I started to pick up on, since I knew how to play piano, who am I paying attention to? I'm paying attention to the piano player and what he's playing. And then I start dissecting these songs, and I start, because I
Mm,
already, as a 5, 6 year old, one of my one of the first things that I did when I sat at a piano was learning how to play a song. So I was taking the same thing that I did at 6, and I'm
mm.
applying it to learning these gospel songs.
Got you.
And yeah, and that's it just grew. I was stumbling. I felt embarrassed. I felt yeah, but I continued to show up, and yeah, yeah, people would be looking at me like, yeah, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Inside, you're feeling like, man, like, what are they talking about? And they're just like, this is awesome. This is the best guitar player we've had in a
Right.
long time. It always seems like that happens that way, right? While
Yeah.
we're our biggest critic, I guess. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So while we're sitting here dissecting ourselves, other people, they don't see. I say that as a videographer all the time. I'm so tech for a long time I didn't shoot stuff for myself, and it's just
Right.
because, well, I'm my client, right? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm trying to be in front of the camera and also behind at the same time. So I'm being extra technical, but
Right.
it's really because I'm caring about stuff that the people watching, they never would care about. That
Yeah.
they don't even see it, they don't even recognize it, it don't even make sense to them. Everything looks great to them, right? Where it may not look great to me. But it's I think that's always so interesting, and we have to learn how to kind of get over that hump. Is that something that you've experienced continually in your walk as an entrepreneur? And how have you dealt with that, or kind of brought yourself to get over kind of not being a perfectionist,
Right.
and not putting your best foot for it, right? But also not waiting until everything is perfectly aligned before you jump out there and do something.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest things that I learned. And this, like, mind you, this is my walk with God. Like, I would just
Mm,
get this thought, like, don't just sit up in your room practicing.
mm,
Only, I mean, do that, but go out somewhere. Not. I mean, for me, my instruction was not standing on the corner with a hat. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't my instruction. That wasn't the
mhm,
thought that I got. But it was to go to this church. You
mm,
know, and eventually this church started, paying me a little something. It wasn't much,
mhm,
but I mean, it would be $50. It would be based on whatever they could do for that week.
mhm,
And and it was helping out with bills. Of course, I made sure that I contributed and did things like that. But that's when I first started getting that feeling that, man, Lord, my mom spent $90 on this guitar, and here I am. I'm getting this on average about $90 a week.
Right,
So
right.
so I'm noticing the return,
Mm.
from a guitar that we spent $90 for.
Mm.
And mind you, I sold that same guitar years later, and that guitar had appreciated so much. So investment, like I noticed investment. You know what I'm saying? We only paid 90 for it, or my mom paid 90 for it.
Mm.
And I sold it for like 500 maybe. Um,
What?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
sold the guitar for now? Was the guitar worth 90 when she bought it for 90, or was it actually worth more
It
and she
was.
got a deal on it?
I'm sure it was worth more. That person was just trying to move some items. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? Yeah, yeah. I sold it for like 500, because it was actually like a vintage style guitar.
Mm.
I didn't know that. When I got it, I
Well, you
didn't
didn't
know
know what you got. You just saw the
that.
guitar. You wanted to play the guitar.
Yeah,
Your mama's like, that's Jesus. Just
right.
working everything out.
Yeah,
So you
and
bought the guitar for 90. You made money every week, maybe an average of $90 a week
right,
for a period of time,
right.
and you sold the guitar for five. I mean, talk about triple winning, right?
Right. Yeah, yeah. But that's how I noticed it. Of course, over time I had to figure out other ways to, well, maybe more can come out of this entrepreneurship journey. And again, at the
Mm,
time, I wasn't really calling it entrepreneurship. I just saw the return coming back from it.
mm,
And then I ended up seeing this one gentleman who was making music, and he was getting licensing and sync, like music licensing, like for TV music. So
mm-hmm,
that opened the door more for, I'm like, you know what? Now I'm
mm.
starting to see all the different ways that I can make money through music only, not just
Right,
art. You see what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So that's what helped me to stick with it. And that's what helped me to see that I don't have to be a famous musician. I don't have to be this
Mm,
worldwide, I don't have to be that.
right, right,
I can
right.
still provide a service, and I can make a good living. And I'm
Mm,
I'm I'm still on that journey, but I was able to see that, and I was happy seeing that, and I saw that in my apartment room, uh, just in prayer. And I'm like, Lord, I need you to show me how I can make money doing this, because I don't have a mentor. No one's showing me
mm.
how to do this. So he just opened my eyes to it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
We have many people that have come on the show, and we as we say, this is biblical entrepreneurship, and you talk about taking God as your counselor.
Right.
Making God your business partner,
Yeah.
and so many times you hear that the same thing of people talking to God about what it is that He would have them to do, or how they're going to do this, or how they're going to take care of this, and God always answers. And so we have to, for anybody out there that's listening, we have to remember this is an encouragement, right?
Right.
Take it to Jesus. Take it, lay it before his feet, talk to him about it, right? Discuss your fears, your sorrows, your joys, right? Everything, and make a plan with him. Make that plan. Lay it before his feet. That's what Psalms 37 says, because God is going to be able to bring that thing in the past, right? And if he needs to redirect you, right, in a different direction because he has something greater for you than what you think, then he's going to take you in that direction. But you can't do that if you're not asking him. It's just like, if I
That's
don't
right.
ask Kashif about, okay, these chords, how am I ever going to know, right? I don't know nothing about piano.
That's
I'm,
right.
I'm I'm just pecking away here, right? You know what I'm saying? But so if I want to know, I need to ask somebody who has an idea about it, right? And we all are connected with somebody who has an idea about it, and he loves us. He desires the best for us, right? So we gotta go connect with him. Thanks for watching the Lion and Lambo podcast. We hope this clip has been a huge blessing to you, and we want to remind you that we drop new videos, new podcast episodes every Sunday at 9 o'clock. You can find the full episode by clicking the card up at the top right of this video. If you prefer an audio only experience, then we want to let you know that we're streaming through every major podcast streaming platform. For the full list, you can go to www.lionandthelambo.com. Until next time, go impact the world.